to the Gentiles. And so that's us. We're the Gentiles. Well,
when I was 7, 8, 9, 10, I wanted to be an actor. Because in the summertime, I wanted to be an actor. Because in the summertime, we played nail Jesus to the cross all the time. And I was always him. It was weird. We would make up this cross out of sticks. And then we would do the passion play. And I really got into it. You know, I don't know. It was like being a martyr or something. It was
you did the 7 last words, huh?
Yeah, and they seemingly everybody was really happy to go tie up to a cross. You know, that they liked their part, and I liked my part. It was weird, but
they still do that in Germany every 10 years.
Do they?
How do you say
Oberammergau.
Oberammergau.
Germany.
I don't know what that is.
What is the name of the city?
It's a city.
They
reenact.
They reenact, and you put your name in to be the...
I guess they have it all organized every 10 years they do it. So I suppose somebody comes forward, or maybe several come forward, and they have to choose someone who's going to do it.
Yeah.
And then each character, you know.
Well, they don't like really nail you though.
I don't know. I think they tie them, don't they?
Yeah, tie them, yeah.
Well, I'm sure they nail nails, but they don't.
Yeah,
they
send
probably
it to
go
them.
between his fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wrote a story once where I was the guy that had to do the nailing. See, the Roman soldiers wouldn't do it. They had to bring me in. You get in here and do this. I don't want to do it. And I looked down at Christ and I said, I didn't say it. It was like mental. I really don't want to do this, but I got a wife and kids, and if I don't, they'll probably kill me and kill
you were
them.
having this after you were adults?
Yeah, it was a, I had a dream, you know, a story that came up with. And what really freaked me out is
I never heard Freddie say anything about
he looked at me and he said, well, can you do me a favor and not miss?
I never heard Freddie say anything about going to it. Going to your passion play.
Oh no, this was when I was 6 years old. But I wrote a story.
You said, I'm married and have children.
Yeah, this was in this story I wrote. That I was the guy who did the nailing.
Okay,
See, the Romans, they wouldn't do that because they, you know, it was political and everything. So they brought in, I was just a guy in town. Here, they grabbed me and said, you got to do this. And I didn't want to do it. I didn't even know the guy, but I didn't want to put some nail through some guy's hand. But what really freaked me out was the compassion. He turned and it's like he wasn't angry at me. He wasn't, you know, resentful. He wasn't anything except he did sort of say, just try to hit the nail right, you know, first time, do me that favor. But it was all compassion. He understood exactly. If I didn't do that, somebody else was going to, and they would probably kill me and my family. I don't have any choice. So, but the main thing I got out of the story was this infinite well of compassion that he had.
God is good and compassionate. Full of love and mercy.
I don't got that much. I don't got that much. But
well, most people consider that a privilege to be asked.
To do what?
Yeah, to be Jesus in the passion play.
Oh, I don't know what that was about. I was enthralled with the whole story. I mean, I knew the, you know, we went to Saturday.
Well, that's good that you had that experience.
No, yeah, I really just trained. It's like high school. Well, I didn't much care for it, but it didn't hurt me none. I mean, you know, I managed to survive. But anyway, so after Chicago, you came back, you go to school in the summer, and then they go, well, we're not putting you back in Chicago. Now you're going to go to, you're now 26 years old?
Indianapolis.
How old are you on the second tour?
Well,
what do they call these things? Assignments? Or they called assignments?
Missions.
What?
On your mission.
Mission, okay, missions. So on your second mission, how old are you at the start of the second mission?
Well, let's see. I was about 22, 23.
Okay. You're 23 and they send you by yourself?
No, to Indianapolis.
I know, but...
I went with the
Convent of Sisters.
Okay.
I went with the sisters
Okay,
that are
that's-
on the same
Okay,
mission as
so the
me.
mission's always, you're gonna relocate to that convent, and then from there, you'll do something
Yeah.
specific.
They go from
Teach
one-
again? Were you teaching again?
Yes, and here's an interesting point. We rode from Terre Haute to Indianapolis on what was called the interurban. Did you ever hear of that?
No.
Okay, at that time in the 30s,
Yeah,
between certain cities, they had, it was like a train, but it wasn't really a train. It was called an interurban. Inter means between,
Yeah.
and urban means cities.
was it a horse drawn?
So it was between cities.
Was it an engine
And we
one?
rode on this interurban to Indianapolis.
Well, was
And
it,
then in Indianapolis, some people in the parish,
when did you drive your first car?
I don't understand. What was this interurban? Was it a bus? Was it a train?
it was a train.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You said it wasn't a train.
Well, it wasn't like a train pulled by an engine. It was electric.
Oh.
Like a
You,
streetcar.
oh,
Yeah,
you had a streetcar electric thing all the way from
Yeah.
there to there?
You know, there were streetcars in Indianapolis.
Uh-huh.
And I went to St. Anthony's School,
Okay,
St. Anthony's Convent.
okay.
And there were 11 of us sisters in that convent.
Okay.
And
And that could be,
I had 7th grade. That
they could be older, not younger, but they were all older than you? Yeah,
one was younger.
one, okay. And you had 7th grade this time?
I had 7th grade.
Well, did you, they told you before, a month before you went that you were gonna teach 7th grade so you
I
could...
heard it from the bishop the day before we left.
Yeah, but you weren't, how were you ready to teach 7th grade? You didn't even know the math of 7th grade,
That
did
didn't
you?
matter.
It didn't matter.
No, you just
Okay.
did it.
Yes, it mattered.
I know, but you
Mattered.
didn't have special preparation that summer, did you?
I had no special preparation.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
They knew I was smart. They knew I'd know 7th.
So when you went there, did they give you this guide that you're this is what we're going to be teaching this year to 7th
Yes, every
grade?
grade has guides.
Had a
on
guide.
that.
Okay, so we must accomplish this
Yes,
many
that's right.
goals. They
But
need
it
to know how to
wasn't something
multiply.
that I couldn't do.
No.
Well, I
I could do
understand. Yeah, I understand. On the other hand,
There
were you
were
speaking
some-
Latin at the time?
What?
Latin. Did
We prayed in Latin a lot.
you didn't go to school for Latin?
Yes, in the summer
Okay.
I had Latin, college Latin.
How about Greek? Didn't have to do Greek?
No, I never studied Greek, but
Okay.
I learned some Greek.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you ever see a Latin Bible?
I never saw one, but I could find one if you wanted.
No, I don't know that. I didn't know.
It's called the Vulgate,
Okay.
and it was translated from Greek
Yeah.
into Latin by Saint Jerome.
That's why I asked about the Greek, if you'd ever seen a pre-translated Greek version.
You know, and that's what happened year after year. You'd teach, you'd come home to the woods, go to college, and then get another assignment. Then you'd come home, go to college, and get another
Well,
assignment.
but every year, you were 3 years in Chicago.
But you always came back in the
Yeah,
summertime.
she came back. And
Well, they say to you, you're going back to your thing mission.
okay.
That's what they
Well,
would say.
did you get a new mission every year, or did you have to do a couple years in one spot?
Oh, no, sometimes I was there, well, when I first made profession, I was changed every year practically. But
Really?
then I'd stay longer in different times, it just depended.
I see, yeah. Well, it seemed to be hard if you've gone to, like North Chicago. You've been there for 3 years, you're finally getting the groove on. You know a bunch of kids, you know everybody else, and all of a sudden they go,
That doesn't make any difference in
Not at
religious
all.
life. It's like the army, you go where you're told.
yeah, but I mean, why not 5 years?
Well, it could be,
I mean,
it could
okay.
be.
Well, I think with older sisters, they did consider a lot of
A
those
lot of
things.
yeah.
And
Was
then
there,
once Vatican II came,
well, is there a seniority that's, is there a seniority?
Not too much.
what would you
There's
say?
not on the seniority.
Like a seniority that's may not be written down, but the assignments are by seniority.
Oh, it has nothing to do with it.
Well, come on, the
They-
Mother Superior didn't play favorites.
What
Some-
they try to do is give you a position where you're needed,
Yeah,
and where you are prepared by your life experience and by
Yeah.
going to school,
Yeah,
you are prepared to do that work.
yeah. But you didn't have a teaching certificate.
After a while I did.
After a while?
In fact, it was while I was in Indianapolis at the St. Andrews
Okay.
that I got licensed to teach the middle grades in
Well-
Indiana.
You have to take a test, you just apply?
No, because I was going to school and they had my record. They
Yeah,
could see.
Oh, the school got it for you?
Yeah.
What?
Okay. The school got it for you. They did the paperwork to get it for you.
Well, as far as getting it,
You still got that somewhere?
the Department of Education.
Is that something that you would hold on to? Do you have yours?
I've got my record.
No, but I mean your certificate of.
I don't have
teaching.
mine anymore.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't. What do you hold on to? Is it-
Well,
you,
it's very.
you don't have a lot of possessions. So what is the oldest thing you own?
My birth certificate.
You have that
It's in the archives.
in the archives?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the Woods. I can go to the archives anytime and see it or take a copy.
No,
or-
no. Do you have like a shoebox in the closet with?
No, no. That's not a good way to keep your professional record.
No, I was just talking about maybe marbles or a little doll you had. You must have had dolls. You had little dolls when you were little, didn't
No,
you?
I have an angel that Freddie brought me from Jerusalem.
No, I understand, but no, I'm talking about when you were 5, 6, 7 years old.
Did you play with dolls?
Yeah, sure.
But you don't have any of them.
No.
No. So you since you moved around, I mean, everything you owned would fit in a suitcase, wouldn't
That
it?
would have to.
Yeah, it had to.
We had a
'Cause
trunk.
You,
And
yeah.
when you left your teaching in the spring, everything, there was a list of stuff you were supposed to put in your trunk. Okay, you had to have it all done in case you didn't go back to that same mission.
Yeah.
And in the summertime, if you got changed, you didn't go back to that mission. They sent for that trunk to your new one.
Okay.
Yeah, for us
It was
anyway.
one of those steamer trunks
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
you call it. Was that big at least?
Well, you had what they called your trousseau. That means
So
you had,
Joe, did you ever sneak out back and smoke cigarettes?
I never did, but
We didn't smoke cigarettes in those days.
Well, the people did.
I know, but we didn't.
How about take a sip of the old corn
well,
liquor?
we never had much opportunity for that.
Yeah. Well, you just
Well,
Now
I'm
today is a different story, but back in our day, no.
no.
The only, we are a French community and Mother Theodore was from France and they drank wine in
Yeah.
France because the water was so good.
Yeah.
So when those sisters came to America, they had wine at the beginning, but they gradually got away from it so that we just have wine on certain days, certain
Oh,
occasions. And then we have wine.
You line up and they give you a little cupful.
Well, something like that.
Now you can have all you
And
I saw Thomas Jefferson. He billed the government $7,000 every year for the wine he drank while he was president, which would
who was that?
Thomas Jefferson. When he was in the White House,
Oh, okay.
there was a $7,000 at the time bill for wine that they consumed. Of course, he probably entertained somebody, didn't? I don't think he drank. That'd be a lot
Because
of
they
wine.
didn't have good water either.
No, yeah.
And they didn't drink water the way we do.
They had to drink water. No.
Go ahead, I'm just gonna move around here.
So
Well, miss you.
I'm not going anywhere. Standing up here.
the second place you were there for how long? The second mission?
I was there 2 years.
Yeah, is that what you referred to them as the first mission, the second mission, or
Yeah,
third
that's
mission?
right.
So how many missions did you have in the
Oh
end?
my gosh.
Well, I mean,
I
20,
never counted them.
20, 30?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were everywhere.
I'll count them for you sometime.
Well, you stayed within 100 miles of the home convent? 100 miles?
No.
You
I-
never,
Just
were you in
across-
Washington State? Did you ever go to the West Coast as a mission?
No, that wasn't their area.
Okay,
I
area.
studied at Seattle University for a year.
I know.
Okay.
You live, she's mostly.
That's
within-
where I met Liz.
Well, okay, back again. Did you have to go to the chief in charge and say, I want to go to graduate school in Notre Dame? How did that happen?
Well, at that time, we had provinces. So the community was divided up into East and West,
Okay,
and Chicago, Illinois, and Indiana.
okay,
And
yeah,
so I was in the East. So the provincial superior of the East, when I asked her, I was talking with her because we were supposed to discuss about where we would like to go and teach next year. See,
Oh,
after Vatican II came in,
You actually had some
We
say
were
so in the
much-
matter?
we were much freer then.
Oh, to actually, you could actually, I might like to go here because I have family there or something.
Well,
Did
they
you have to
might
get,
not-
did you have to
Yes,
have
that's
permission to
right.
go home and visit your parents?
That's right.
Okay, you had to go in and get, I mean, if they got sick, you could go home,
Not
right?
necessarily.
Not necessarily, depended, yeah. So, you're not sure how many missions, but at least 20.
At least.
At least, because if they were just 2 years each, that's 40 years. And you've been doing missions since you were 22?
Since I was 19.
19, so that's almost 100 years right there. Seriously, yeah. So if you only did that would be 50 missions if you only did 2 years in the same place. But you were at Immaculata for 7, 8 years.
Well,
right?
that's because Vatican II happened, and Vatican II said, you are not contemplative nuns. You are apostolic sisters.
Okay,
Get out with the people.
okay,
And what you're wearing should be modified greatly.
okay.
So when every community had to have a special meeting about this, and then you had to send your report to Rome.
You were, what is your classification?
What?
What do they call it? You're a teacher. What is that called?
Oh, vocation?
Yeah, but no, you said that there were 2 classifications.
Oh, yes, contemplative nuns.
Okay, what do they do?
stay in a monastery.
Okay, okay.
Like here in Washington,
They didn't necessarily support priests in church. They did their own.
they might have made vestments for them
Okay, yeah.
that the priest would buy.
Okay.
They might have made the linens.
They were more directly supporting the church.
No, they
No?
were more staying in their convent.
Yeah, okay.
And many of them did different kinds of work.
Okay.
And
But they didn't have missions?
they did not go out on
Okay,
missions.
they did not do missions.
But
Okay.
sometimes one might be changed from one monastery to another for some reason.
Okay, yeah. So, but, there were no missions to Africa,
Our community had none.
okay?
Now her community has them
Is that right?
because they're more missionary.
Oh, so
Tell him some of the places you have missions.
did you ever go on a foreign mission? Is that what they call it, foreign?
Just to visit.
Just to visit?
We have sisters in the Philippines, in El Salvador.
You mean a pleasure visit or a work
No,
visit?
no. Well, yeah, mine was a pleasure
Okay,
visit.
Yeah,
So
I-
we have a foundation or sisters on mission in the Philippines,
yeah.
in El Salvador,
Oh, wow.
in Cameroon,
Yeah.
in Haiti,
Oh,
in
Whoa.
South America.
how do you keep those occupied now? How many can there be there? It can't be that many.
Well, at one time there was, but now
Yeah.
it's less.
Yeah.
They're getting less and less. And instead of having 4 or 5 provinces, we're going to do like they did, be one.
Well, I haven't looked it up in a while. Does the Vatican directly contribute
No,
to
they don't bother
nothing?
us.
They don't.
They don't bother us because at one time.
No, I mean money. They don't contribute.
no,
They don't
no.
contribute any money.
No. We work in parishes. Parishes supported us.
Who's
Well, but-
supporting you?
Doesn't
Parishes helped us get.
Well,
when
but-
I was in Glasgow, we got
does
$45 a month.
somehow the Vatican gets money? So the parishes send money to the Vatican?
No, parish is supported by the people who go to church there.
I know, but who supports the Vatican? Where do they get their money then?
Well, how do they get their money? I don't know.
I don't know. I somehow thought,
Probably every diocese.
Diocese,
Diocese.
probably at the diocese.
They always have a drive for that.
Yeah,
oh,
they
for
do.
for
Once
the
a year.
Vatican?
Yes,
What's it
yes.
called? For the
For the Vatican.
Holy Seal or
Yeah,
something?
something like that.
It's- oh, I didn't
Has
know
a
that.
funky
Yeah.
thing.
But I somehow, why isn't there some
Well, you know,
downflow?
when the lottery came to your family,
Okay, you got paid $1 a day. Well, those kids that went there were paying a lot more than that. So, did
you mean at Immaculata?
well, any place you were.
Well,
I mean,
we had tuition. and
okay,
a
at
lot of-
Immaculata, it must cost some $10,000 a year as a student, and you got paid $100.
Well, we do not have personal money.
I understand.
That's why you had to tell Liz to use that money
Yeah,
for her jubilee.
Yeah, you told me that if I ever wrote you a check, I've got to make it clear that it's for your personal use. Otherwise, you have to.
Ron, I'll tell you the background of that. It's not the same in all communities.
Okay.
But in our community, I have friends like you. You send me money. Sister Susie over here doesn't have anybody.
I understand.
Nobody gives her anything. So I have money so I can travel. I can use my. She can't go anyplace.
Yeah.
She can't. But I mean, if you look at that way.
No, I
So
understand,
to
sure.
equate everything, you turn your money in, and if I want to go, I have to ask. If she wants to go, she has to ask, and she'll be said yes. They'll tell her yes. But it's just not because I have a friend that gives me money that I can do things that she
Okay,
can't
if
do.
you ladies manage to live your life without jealousies or
But that helps that.
all the human stuff, the petty, you know, you never
don't
had
think
you never had arguments with any of the nuns, or you never
Oh,
got
that's
angry.
a different question.
Oh, I,
You got two questions in one there.
okay. I don't know. Yeah. I
We're
mean,
human, you know, and you do have
well, that's what I
arguments.
was asking. If,
But I mean, as far as,
so the answer when something like that happens, do you immediately go down and start praying really hard? Does that helps you get over it?
well, that helps.
Helps, and you get out of the situation. You go.
Well, I mean, you do what Jesus told you to do.
Well, like at the church there at the woods, is there somebody always in there praying? Always?
In the Blessed Sacrament Chapel,
Always.
it's open certain hours in the mornings or certain hours in the evening.
Right.
And there's always a sister in there.
And there's some communities that have what they call perpetual adoration.
Those are those nuns in the monastery
Okay.
that she's talking about.
Okay. I went to Presbyterian Church in Winchester, and I don't know, it was after I was long gone. But anyway,
Well, you don't know what's going on. That's what.
well, I'm getting ready to. There was a homeless man came, knocked on the door, and said, you know, I don't have any food and I don't have any place to stay.
It's like his
And
usual thing.
the minister said, I'm sorry, we can't help you. Okay, that night the guy came back and burnt the church down.
Well, it depends on why the pastor said that.
No,
And
I
besides, that's not what we're connected to.
no, I
If he
understand.
came to the convent
Yeah.
and asked,
Yeah.
we would give him something.
Oh, I probably have the story wrong, except for he was homeless. He came there, and the next night he burnt the church to the ground, which I don't know, but I don't even know what I came up with. I guess everybody had to go off and pray a whole lot after that. I don't ever know what happened to that guy.
I don't know.
I only got your second, third hand, but he did burn it to the ground. Have you seen Fox lately, by the way? I haven't either.
How's our
Wonder-
interview going?
What?
How is our interview going?
Oh, I'm recording. It's been, I got
Really?
63 minutes left of battery, so I just keep on rolling. And then I'll edit it and I'll put cartoons in the middle, you know, and put pictures and stuff. And it'll be put on YouTube and you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see it at home.
Be careful what you say.
No, she hasn't violated. Yeah, did you get like, when you took your vows and whatever, you have like secret handshakes and stuff? You know, secrets that only you guys can tell each other? Like, you know, the secret word or the, no?
No, we have no passwords except.
See, in the Boy Scouts, one of the upper you know.
Well, see, you're trying to compare us to some of the.
No, I
organizations.
gotta compare it
Thank
to
you.
groups of people, like-minded people, that's all. I mean, you are in a group of like-minded people. Like Boy Scouts was like-minded, let's go chop up wood, you know, I don't know, but different groups, I understand. Did you ever go out and hold signs in marches?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. And what was about abortion and so on?
It
Was
could
that
be.
was
It
that
could be trafficking,
what?
trafficking.
Oh yeah,
Human
yeah,
trafficking.
Any of
yeah.
those kind of things. You know.
And
Oh, human.
remember when
Well,
we were in Seattle?
Did they always allow that, or did the Vatican II open that up?
Oh, well, that's, Vatican II, it doesn't have anything to do with. The thing is, you would join other groups. You
Yeah.
weren't just sisters. There would be lay people. There'd be
Yeah,
people.
but the church didn't say, no, I don't
No,
want you to be
no,
politically
no.
into this mess. I don't want.
No.
I remember years and years and years ago, there was some nun in South America got in big trouble because she said something out loud.
Well,
It was
that's
political.
could be.
It was a political thing, and they weren't supposed to be political.
If you went down to the School of Americas in Atlanta,
Yeah?
and you went down there and protested, you could do it. But they said, you can't cross this line or we'll arrest you.
Oh, yeah.
And some did,
Gotcha.
and they got to
Yeah.
jail.
Yeah. I remember
Yeah,
them.
we had a couple of nuns
Yeah?
spent like
Oh,
6 weeks in jail. Or,
Yeah, I was in Vietnam during the Vietnam War, but I went down to D.C. and joined some of the anti-war
Well,
protests.
that's the same thing.
And there were nuns there got arrested. They refused to move, and they handcuffed them and carted them away, you know, to protest the war.
But usually, before they would do that, they would get the approval of the community to do that. They just couldn't do it on
There
their
were,
own.
okay, that's what I was saying. There is, yeah, okay.
Okay, let's go back to the money situation.
What?
The money.
Yeah, okay.
Money.
Yeah, I like how you did that. I like how you did that. That was good. Where did you learn that one?
How did you want to tell him about the money?
We have in our communities what we call it's not the central fund, what is it?
Common.
The common fund. Every sister who has a position
Yeah.
and gets paid for it,
Yeah,
she does not keep that money.
right.
She puts it in the common fund.
I understand
Okay, you understand
that.
that?
Yeah,
And then if a sister needs something,
yeah.
she goes to the common fund and asks for that. Now, sometimes if it's a real large amount and she knows what that is, she'd have to get permission from the superior to take that much money
Did you have
out.
to, you have to personally buy your own bath soap and all
Yes.
that, the toiletries, as they
It's
call them?
situated like that.
You have
And
to,
some communities do it differently.
they provide
But
it,
now,
but,
like in our community,
yeah,
in the springtime of every year, we make out a list of what we think we're going to need
oh, really?
for the
Yeah.
next year.
That's called a budget.
Okay.
And
In terms of
some-
consumables, like that.
Some call it other things, we
Yeah.
call it a budget.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not really a budget.
Yeah,
Um,
but you have to list a specific item like
Yes.
soap,
There's
shampoo.
categories. There's categories for travel, for personal
Okay,
use,
I see.
for prescriptions, for doctor's appointments.
Really, prescriptions? How are you
Now,
even gonna
it's
know?
It's different in each community. For my community,
Okay, your prescriptions, do you have to go to a pharmacist somewhere else and get them, or do they provide, they have a,
well, for me, I'm in assisted living.
Okay.
And they order them for me, but I have to pay for them.
okay,
And so
alright,
when I wasn't in assisted living and I lived with regular folks, I had to budget for it. I had the money. I went to Safeway, got my medicine and paid for it.
but that came out of the common fund
That's
after you
right.
budgeted
Yeah,
for it,
yeah.
Now,
okay?
in the common fund, they have these big groups. So prescriptions for all
Right.
the sisters would be a big amount.
Yeah, right,
Where I am, I'm in health care. I'm not assisted living.
Okay.
Like Liz is, I'm in health care.
healthcare,
Now, when I need medicine, I go to my nurse. Every day you're assigned a nurse for that day.
they don't have a doctor on site there though?
No, we have no.
Okay,
Because we go out to the doctor
yeah,
and the doctor writes out the prescription and sends it or may give it to you. My doctors give it to me. But you take it to the nurse,
Right.
and the nurse has it filled.
When we went to Alaska, we went to Juneau, which is the capital, and we also went to Skagway. Now both of these towns have, Juneau maybe has 1,200 people.